Good evening, everyone, and welcome to A Little Twisted Apothecary. I'm your hostess, Heidi, with A Little Twisted, and tonight we're going to discuss travel altars. So I make travel altars, different sizes. I sell them at the events that I do, but I wanted to kind of go a little bit more in depth on a travel altar and what a travel altar is, what the purpose of a travel altar could be, um, what the name behind it was the meaning. But there's a couple other things that it could be attached to. So let's get right into what travel altars are, what my travel altars consist of, and I'm going to break this down for you. So right now I have two different size travel altars. I have a small version and I have a large version. A lot of items are in both versions, but the large version obviously will have a few more items. So let's get into what is in a travel altar. So if we start with a small one, when I'm talking about the small one, it will also be in the large one, and then we'll go back to the large one and show you the additions to the large travel altars. So in a small travel altar, the first thing you'll have is an altar cloth. Every travel altar I provide has an altar cloth. The altar cloths are always a little different. I like to source different things and different items, different materials, different colors, so I always want to make sure that it's fresh and new. But the altar cloths are all a good size. So you see this one is about a 12 by 24, and this one has tarot cards on it, which is kind of nice. So every travel altar has an altar cloth. Why would you say it would need an altar cloth? Because the word travel altar, meaning travel, you can't always go someplace with your altar that you have at home, right? You don't pack it up every single time you go somewhere. So this is a good resource to be able to take that with you. So if you're going on a trip or you're staying with someone and you just want that security with you, that's where these travel altars come into play. So I want to make sure that you have an altar cloth that you can lay down and then put all of your items on it. So every travel altar has an altar cloth. So the next thing that I have in every travel altar is incense. So why incense, you say? So incense can be part of air, because you want to have that relaxing feeling when you're sitting down to meditate or practice, whatever you have. So I provide incense in every travel altar. It comes in a small bottle like this. It's a little glass bottle. It has incense in it, and then it has 2 matchsticks. Because when you're practicing, you can use however you want to light it, but the best way to light it is with a match, obviously. So I provide different incense from white sage to dragon's blood, all different types of incense. But this is how mine are packaged for the small and large travel altars in a little glass bottle sealed with the tag of the name of the incense. The other thing that we have, which also can represent air, but also fire, is your candles. So every travel altar comes with a candle. These happen to have a glass candle holder, which I find is very nice. I put on a label on the front of it. This one says, as above, so below. I have other ones that say, blessed be. I have some that say, do no harm. So all of my stickers range depending on what it is. So you get a glass jar, and then you get a small votive candle. Now these aren't really the tiny ones. They're a little bit larger. This one happens to be purple. When I build the travel altars, every travel altar has a tag that represents and shows you what's inside the travel altar. And then I'll tell you what the meaning behind the candle is, because every candle color has a different meaning. So you'll get one of these inside. It's folded really nicely, and it'll tell you what is in there, and then it'll tell you what the candle color means. Another thing that's in your travel altar, and obviously every travel altar should have, is a smudge stick. So they're decent size. I don't put tiny ones in there. This is about 4 inches. This is white sage. So I have every travel altar has a smudge stick. And along with the smudge stick, you have to have a feather, right? To help waft out that smell throughout the area. My feathers at the bottom of them have a small soapstone attached to it. And soapstone has its own meaning. And these are all little carved ones. So it's easy to hold on to and easy to use. So you get a smudge stick and you get a feather. Okay. Another item in my travel altars is black salt. What's black salt? Black salt is for warding off evil energy or negative energy. You can use this in a different many ways, either in a ritual that you're doing. You can put a little bit of black salt at your doorway of your home so you don't let the negative energy enter your home. Also under windowsills. That's another great way. And again, it comes in a small glass jar. You can see sealed up and it's full of black salt. Again, it's in the large version as well. Another item that I have in my travel altars are shells. Shells represent water. So I want to make sure that each travel altar has your earth, air, water, fire. I want to make sure you have all of your elements in there. So we have a shell. You have, in the small one, you have stone chips. In the large one, when we get to it, you'll have a little pendulum. But in the small one right now, we have stone chips. It has the name of the chips on it. And again, on the card, I tell you what the name of the chip is and then what the meaning behind the stones are. So there's your little jar, glass again. I like to make sure that these look really nice. I want to make sure that you're getting a value. So your little glass jars. We also have a altar disc. And these are made out of birch wood. And each altar disc will have a symbol in the center. This one happens to be, the goddess moon with the pentagram in the center. But they're on birch wood. I make these myself, and I put them together so everyone is a little different. They're not the same. You'll have maybe one that has like the tree of life, or just the pentagram, or just a moon. This one actually has the triple moon. I even do some with the little goddess symbol on them. So you have that as well. Another thing you have is a key. So why a key, you might say? Well, a key is representative of Hecate. It brings in good energy above and below, and I want to make sure that everybody has a key. And a lot of these things, everyone will have different meanings, right? So the meaning that you put behind it is your meaning. It doesn't have to be my meaning. It doesn't have to be someone else's meaning. Everything that you do is your energy and your meaning. So I want you to make sure you understand that even though I'm discussing some of these items with you and letting you know what I feel they represent, they may represent something a little bit different to you. And that's okay. It should be up to you on what the meaning behind every item is. And the last thing in a small travel altar, and every travel altar just about, and we'll get into some of the other ones, is full moon water. They come in this gorgeous glass jar, labeled full moon water with a cork. And what I'm going to start doing with my next set is I'm actually going to seal the top of the cork with wax. Make sure that it's either in transition or anything else that it doesn't leak out. But as you can see right now, I've got them in there pretty well, and they don't leak out. So you get full moon water. This full moon water actually is pretty special. The stuff that's in here right now is from this last lunar moon, which was November 19th. And I know that date because it's also my birthday. So all of the full moon water that I have right now is from the last lunar moon, which is the longest lunar moon in the last 500 years or so, maybe more. Who knows? So every travel altar will have full moon water. Now, I'm sure you're going to ask, these boxes here, these are not what they come in. Okay, this was for a representation so that you can see a sample. But the boxes themselves are not what the travel altars come in. I have commissioned some new boxes that are very nice, and all travel altars will be in those boxes, except for a new one we'll discuss in a little while. So that's what's in a small travel altar. Now let's look at the large travel altar. Excuse me 1 second. Mouth a little dry. Sorry about that. Let's go to the large version. So what's different between a small version and a large version? The large version has a few other things inside of it that a small version doesn't. One of the other things that a large version will have is an offering bowl. So every large travel altar will have a porcelain offering bowl. And you can see that it's very nice. It's a great size, but it's porcelain, so it's very nice. I'm not going to put inexpensive, cheap items in the travel altars. I want to make sure that you're getting a value for what you're spending on these. So these are porcelain bowls that'll be in a large travel altar. And I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier with the small ones. I showed you the stone chips in the small one, and I kind of said there was a pendulum in a large one. And there is. It's not a large pendulum, but you do get a pendulum instead of the stone chips. So every pendulum will come with what type of stone it is and then what the meaning behind it is. I apologize. This one here is a little special. You can see there's a little bit on the chain. This one went through a fire. So this one's a little special. But every large travel altar will have a pendulum in it like this. The other thing that a large one will have is a bell. So as you can see, it's a little brass bell, and you just ring in good energy. So everyone will have a brass bell. It will also have a broom. What do you say a broom is? So a broom is to sweep away your negative energy, to sweep away all the unwanted abundance in your life. So every large one will have a small broom. Another thing that a large travel altar will have is a stone. This stone, excuse me, happens to be from California Russian River. So it is special to California, but everyone will have a stone. It's not like a stone, like a stone chip or, a amethyst or whatever. This is an actual rock, representing obviously earth. So we want to represent our elements in there. So we have a stone inside your large one. The shells in the large one are sometimes a little bit bigger, which you can see, versus the small one. But you do have shells in there as well. And you have all of the other items that were in the small one, you'll have in a large one. Again, your full moon water, as you can see. This one is a little differently shaped bottle. This one's purple. The other one was blue. I like to mix things up. You'll have your candle. This one happens to be a red candle. Red for what? Red for love. So you have a red candle in this one. Sometimes they're black candles. Sometimes they're white, yellow, green, all different colors. So I want to make sure that you have representation across the board. Now, I will be putting the travel altars on my site. They're not up there right now, but they will be up there. One thing about them is that when they come, you don't necessarily know what color candle or what stone, but I'm positive it will be good for you. Now, a few changes with our travel altars. We went through the small and we went through a large. So we're going to add some things. We're going to make this the witches' travel altars, and then I'm going to make a warlock's travel altar. So what's the difference between a witch's and a warlock's travel altar? Give you a little bit of hint. A little bit. So instead of the white sage smudge stick, you'll have a dragon's blood smudge stick for the warlocks. Instead of a broom, like this, for the witches, you'll have a knife in there for the warlocks. Instead of the full moon water for blessing for the witches, you'll have essential oils in there for the warlocks. So we're going to make the warlocks box a little more appealing to the warlocks. Then the other thing we're going to do a deluxe version. Now, the deluxe version will have everything you saw in this travel altar, but it will also have the knife. It will have a selenite stick in it. It will have a different porcelain bowl. It's not going to be a porcelain bowl. It'll be a copper bowl versus a porcelain bowl. So the bowl will be upgraded. The bell will be a little bit larger. The smudge stick that I put in there will be a eucalyptus and flowers, so it'll be a little bit different smudge stick. You'll still have all of the shells and the rock. The altar disc will be a little bit different. It'll be a little bit larger, and the altar disc will be a little bit different. You will get a larger pendulum in the deluxe kit. It'll be a full-size pendulum, and you'll get a pendulum mat in the deluxe kit. You'll also get a little bit different altar cloth in the deluxe kit. It'll be more of a square altar cloth. So we're going to create deluxe kits, and then the deluxe kit will come in an actual wooden kind of chest. So it will actually come in its own box for the deluxe kit. One thing I forgot to mention about the Warlock's version of it is it won't have the porcelain bowl in the Warlock's version. It'll have a cast iron bowl in the Warlock's version. So we're going to make sure that we really differentiate between the witches and warlocks. Even though we practice mostly the same, we want to make sure that the warlocks feel invited, that they feel included in what I'm trying to do. And I'll tell you this, though. It was my husband's idea, so we're going to do a little twisted witches and a little twisted warlocks. So we're going to make sure we include everyone into this. So those are my travel altars. Small witches travel altars. We're going to do a warlocks one, and we're going to do a deluxe one. So I would love any feedback, any information, any ideas of what you'd like to see in a travel altar. But that's what we've got going on. So what do we have coming up next? This Saturday and Sunday, we will be in Vallejo at the Solano County Fairgrounds. If you're not exactly sure where it is, make sure you check out A Little Twisted Apothecary on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or all those things. And we will have where we're going to be this Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be the 707 Winterfest, and it's going to be big. They're going to have bands, lots of different entertainment. They'll have food. It's not going to rain. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to rain. I keep telling my hubby it's not going to rain. It's going to be a nice day. I know it's been raining here lately, but it won't. Trust me. So we'll be there. Then next month, we're going to actually be in Turlock at a holistic event in Turlock. And then in February, we have the Fire Festival. So we have a lot of things coming up. So make sure you check out A Little Twisted Apothecary on Facebook, or just A Little Twisted, and you'll be able to find out where we're going to be. And we'll have all of these new items that I've talked about here today, and all of our existing items. We have some new stuff coming up. I'm going to be doing some kits with some herbs that I'll have available. They'll have all different herbs and a small spoon. I'll be doing some kits with some waxes. So I know that everybody likes to do and seal things. So I have some great sealing wax implements. This one actually has a tree. I have one with a pentagram. So we'll have some of those items as well. Along with, as you can see, my boxes we always have at every event. I'll also be doing a kind of kit on smudge sticks. So I'm going to put some together in a group in a nice box and lay them out. And so we'll be doing that as well. So I've really enjoyed our time today and talking about my travel altars. Next time, I think what we'll probably do is talk about witches' ruins, the difference between witches' ruins and Viking ruins, and what my difference is on my witches' ruins and what I do with them. We'll lay some out, we'll talk about them, and we'll go through witches' ruins next time that I see you. So other than that, I hope you enjoyed the show this evening, and I look forward to talking to you guys again. Reach out to me, tag me, follow me, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the great things. Look at YouTube, look for our podcasts, send us a message, send us ideas. And the last thing I'll say is if you'd like to participate in an online live broadcast with me and you have something that you want to talk about, or you have your own small business that you'd like to promote, send us a message. Come on down and let's get you online and let's do a group chat together. All right? Thanks, guys. Blessed be.